Hi, my name's Cody K, and I am the Pittsburgh Pirates GM in the eMLB universe. Um, so I decided to make a podcast called the eMLB WTF Podcast. Um, Now, some of you might get it right away. Some of you might, because I usually post it in the GM channel. It has spread out across server a little bit at times. Um, but um, yeah, so I sometimes I say WTF to Commish when it's something inconvenient for him, um, and I'm just messing around. Um, and it's just become a joke. It might be some annoyance for some, um, but it lives on to a podcast now. Um, So some of you might remember that I Cody's eMLB thoughts from a few seasons ago. That says something about pretty much each team on GM News article. So it's gonna be something like that, um, and maybe some season predictions before the season. Maybe recapping some winter league action, um, or maybe some playoff predictions, or whatever it sprouts out to be. Maybe might be the only episode. Who knows? Maybe you won't even see this. Maybe it goes so poorly that I just quit. But anyway, here we go. We're gonna start alphabetical order by the team location, which is Arizona. That's right, Arizona's pulled up. Um, but the thing about Arizona, Aaron's taking over Arizona again. I think that's great news for the league. Nothing against him. Um, but the thing about Arizona, they haven't. They won the World Series in 2023. That was the first playoff appearance since 2017. Then they made the last 2 years, and they haven't been back since. So we're on a 5-season drought right now for Arizona to make them playoffs. So we'll see what Aaron can do. There hasn't really been much action from the Diamondbacks this offseason. But maybe she sees something that we don't, and that could definitely be the case. Aaron's smart and intelligent, and she definitely knows how to play this game. And obviously, she won the World Series, and we'll see if she can do it again. Now we go to Braves. The Braves haven't been in the playoffs for 3 seasons, so pretty much since when Kenny took over. I was surprised that he made the playoffs the first season. It was shocking. 98 wins, finished third in the division. Philly won 99, I think, or 100, and the Pirates won like 104 or something like that. Um, so then it's just been a dip ever since. Um, One thing I want to talk about the Braves is this trade that they did. It makes no sense to me, and that's acquired Alejandro Rosario. Great bat, extreme fly ball, which is great for Seattle. Atlanta, I don't really know too much about there. Well, we can take a look, can't we? Let's look at the ballpark settings. But not bad. Home runs. Look at the home runs. Um, so fly ball pitcher would be good for them as well. 980 for lefties and 900 for righties. Um, so it's not bad for them having Rosario on the team. However, the trade, this is a Atlanta team that's rebuilding. Nothing against Kenny. This is just my opinions. I think Kenny's a great dude. They get Chris Stout from Seattle as well. Stout's just gonna hit a little bit more home runs than he did in Seattle. But again, it's not a home run friendly park. Um, it's just I don't see the lure of Stout. And they traded away some good prospects. A good prospect, Sergio Rosado, that's going to get on base and hit home runs if he reaches his potential. Prospect number 12. He's not great defensively for third base. You can put him at first if you want. He is 6'5", so he'd be a great first baseman. But you could also put him in a dev lab and get that defense up. He also gave away Nate Peterson, who's ready. Didn't do great in AAA last season. Average hitter. He's still young, still has a lot to prove. This hitter is going to be good for Seattle with the gap power. I don't see why you trade him. He's also another top 100 prospect, which you should give away for Rosario. I just don't see why you do this when you're rebuilding. I don't think that's the team to win now. But put your shoe in my mouth if I'm wrong. That's why they're wrong saying, but yeah, I don't agree with that trade. Anyway, we go to Baltimore. And Baltimore, they got some prospects. I think they're in the middle of win or rebuild. They got some good young pitching though. That's the first pitcher I'll show is 31. Jacob Benight's 26. Jerry Rivera is 27. Newland is 27. Dan Walker is 26. Maybe not. I mean, they're all getting to the prime. So it's kind of a win now situation for Baltimore. They still got Nick Spence, Parkman, who's been doing okay. Alfredo Espinosa's great young hitter. Gets on base, good defensively. At second, I think you still got Buster Bluth there. And just with their prospects, I don't see anywhere you can really ride home about being happy. Baltimore. Mike Parkin. I like Montag a lot. One that he's a lefty, a ground ball pitcher, has a lot of stamina. Slaughter's his first pitch though. We got Benny Montgomery. Good, decent defense. But you don't really have like. Let's look at Estrada. Estrada's okay. He just doesn't have defense with catcher I would like. Make him play first base in a pinch. It's not a bad profile, but the defense needs to improve. So I think they're just in a win or rebuild mode. Try to keep winning. If not, just tear it down. I've been doing a lot of trades, and that could have hurt. I mean, that could have helped as well. Can't really say too much without looking back at all the trades and what they traded away and what they got back. They did make it to the World Series one year. But let's go ahead and move on to Boston. You see New York Yankees making all the headlines. You look up north to New England, and you wonder if they're still there because you don't hear anything from them. And I hope Billy's more active because that New York rivalry, that New York Boston rivalry would be electric for the league. But losing Danny Diaz, I'm not sure of their financial situation. Well, they got some pitching. They got some pitching that they can definitely move forward with. I believe McCalgill, McGrain is close. Maybe later in the season, same for Calgill. Got a hitter. But not much else. Maybe something here and there. So I don't see Boston really doing much to get back to 87 wins. Especially losing Danny Diaz. That's a big bet in the lineup that they're going to lose. Unless they re-sign him. That's definitely a possibility. They re-sign him. I am definitely wrong. I forget what all I said about this team and Billy. Alright, we go over to the White Sox. Before the season, I had no clue what 90s guy was doing. 90s kid, 90s guy, that 90s guy, whatever his name is, Jake, made to World Series. Defensive minded, first in defensive efficiency. Efficiency. There we go. Don't report me. That was a bad joke. But Suko Rune, I drafted her back in 2022. I think I drafted before Koty Kochan. Kochan was the 4th round pick, or 5th round pick. I drafted her in the 4th round. Sadly, the owner of the CCP passed away due to cancer. So, yeah, fuck cancer. Anyway, but she had a breakout year at 27. The Knuckleball Princess. It's very surprising for me to see. I should have held on to her. In hindsight, traded her to Tampa though. I acquired Austin Franklin and Brett Honeywell Jr. I think in that trade. Anyway, had a few others. I had a few others going back in that trade as well. This was back in 2020, 2024 season, 2025 season maybe. But yeah, great season. String ground ball. Props up for giving her the shot. 100%. Now we go to Cubs. We have money problems. Yeah, the Cubs, I don't see them going back to World Series even after acquiring Fleury. They got a second and first, a second and short. That's holes for them, and that's very important. I'm very surprised that he let me trade for Charlie Moore. But I needed a shortstop at the time. And that's who I wanted from him. I ended up trading him somewhere else in the division. Because I got Tony Courtney as well. For dirt cheap. I add. There we go. Then you got Briand. Hervé Briand. Terrible accent. Making $39 million this year, going up to 53, then 55. Then a player out. That's not going to happen. And it's 55, 57, 59, 58. Put up 3.2 WAR though. I knew what I was doing. Sadly, he's in my division, and I wanted to make sure I took that shortstop away from him. So he'd be in crisis mode. But we'll see what happens. And he still has decent pitchers, decent bullpen. Defense was pretty bad last year. Still won 91 games. So take that with a grain of salt. Alright, Cincinnati. Jimmy Hernandez. There's a reason. No, I won't say that. There is a reason that Jimmy Hernandez is bad at Cincinnati. Look at that HRA. 37. 37. Low control. I don't mind low control. But I do mind low control if that HRA is at 37. So that's definitely more or 2-run shots, 3-run shots, grand slams. 42 home runs. I think he'd be okay at PNC. I did acquire about him, but I didn't have it in me to complete a trade. We did have 9.3K per 9, which helps the homer rate a little bit. Meaning that got more guys striking out than putting balls in play or out in the seats. Um, so I would digress from there. Yeah, Cleveland. Cleveland, I want to talk about the outfield depth. You got Kelly Harper, 27. Had an okay year last year. Okay defense. Not gonna fumble the ball like Aaron Judge in the playoffs. Um, but besides that, who do you have? Not much. Really, not much. Um, we traded John Cotton away, which I think was a mistake. I mean, you do get a catcher of the future. I'm not sure what this team wants to do right now. You got O'Neal Cruz in the rate list for research to be done on him. It's just really up in the air right now. I mean, O'Neal Cruz did play center field in real life at the end of the season last year. So he could be that outfield option for them. I just don't see O'Neal Cruz getting better than this with a re-rate, unfortunately, of how he's performed. Could be wrong. Could be right. But here we go. Colorado. I want to talk about the future because when I was doing some research before this, I did record something prior to this, about 45 minutes. Complete waste of time. I was doing research. I was just going through, talking about each team. I was like, hell no, this is going way too long. I got to Miami and I stopped. I was like, 45 minutes. This is gonna go about another hour. I was like, no, this is not gonna happen. But one thing I did find out though is don't be shocked if Colorado makes a run next year. They did trade Luis Flores. I think that's the right last name. To New York, I think. Yeah, because they got the Severino contract. No, I am wrong. Who they trade? They traded Flores to Toronto. That's who I'm thinking of. Okay, and Severino went to St. Louis. That's right. Because Newbar went to St. Louis as well. Anyway, back to Colorado. They got another starting pitcher coming up. The starters are pretty decent, pretty young. 25, 24, 24. Daniel Pratt is 27. Joe Ryan, good re-rate, but has a stream fly ball. Which, if you have good defense in the outfield, it's not gonna hurt as bad. But the Hawks can give up a little bit more home runs at Coors. They get Johnny Watson at 27. Ground ball pitcher, great. Just need a defense to back it up, and I don't really. Michael Scott has good defense. So your second baseman that has Michael Sewer, perfect. Then you get some outfield defense like Merriman. I mean, shit player now, but that outfield ranger is gonna play in that park, and he can steal some bags as well. So it's not a bad move at all. Sorry, I'm getting some Discord notifications right now. But anyway, back to baseball. So that can help them a bit as well. You got some first basemen. Is Williamson a cat? You can put him in the outfield, maybe. Williamson? No, not that outfield. They got a lot of first basemen. Juan Ramos. He hasn't really done a whole lot for them. Spark plug though. The one concern I do have is the offense. They have some good defense, some places, but I mean, Cords you need a hit as well, and I don't see that as much. You got Avery here who can get. That's a perfect profile for Coors. If you can have some more BABIP. But I wasn't excited as I was when I first saw it. But they got some decent defense in the outfield. Merriman's going to play out there well. Not sure if he's going to have a great season or not at the plate. But their pitching's going to play with that defense, I believe. So they're on the right track. But they got a surplus of pitching that I can think. And they got a surplus of first baseman because Andre Dawson. I think their CCP user is dead CCP. Could be a second baseman. I wouldn't put him there. I think he'd be better at third than second base, but I wouldn't put him at third either. So he's pretty much a first baseman. And they have 3 first basemen. I would trade one of them, get like a DH, good powerful DH, or a good left fielder with some defense and has some power, some gap power, just to hit. Yeah. Anyway, excuse me. I think they're in the right direction. Just need to get that offense rolling. Their FIP was horrible. Not last in runs against though, so there's some improvement. Second errors. Zoring was last. Just keep improving. I think they can make a run, a little run, maybe with that defense. I just don't think they have that offense to make a better run at things, which I wish they would try to go get. But that's it. In Detroit, I'm more excited about Detroit. Because I was like, Punk, what are you doing? Not doing anything? Not making trades? But I see why he's not making trades. He has a surplus of outfielders too. Not two. He has a surplus of outfielders. But Bo Cummins is coming. I didn't mean it like that, but he is. He's gonna be a play. This team's gonna have good pitching. Then you got Chase DeLauder. I'd like to see him a little bit more power in the Detroit ballpark, but I think it will definitely play at the Detroit ballpark. What's it called now? I forget. Comerica. There we go. It came to me. 3.31 AAA. So I see this team play a little bit. The one thing I see that's not going, they got their baseman, which I should have kept. I was just trying to be nice, I think. Second base, first base, they don't really have a solid thumper. Rafael Alvarez. Can't really play first, but play DH maybe. He's not bad in the outfield at all, so he might play in the outfield. This is also a big outfield, so need some good defense there. Mason Wynn, back up their baseman. Definitely not a shortstop or second. But they got pitching. Like I said with Colorado, they just need to build that lineup. And I don't think they have as many pieces as Colorado to go get some of those hitters. But who knows? Maybe they can make something happen. Need better defense as well. But let's go ahead and move on. So before offseason, I feel like this team needed. I mean, they're losing Kenny Rodriguez. They were losing Joe Machado. They weren't going to sign them, and they didn't. So that leaves holes in their lineup and in their rotation. They got Boson. I mean, he's not my type of pitcher. I like a lot of stuff. Could work. Not saying it won't. Low stat him. Not throwing it hard either, so I don't know if that comes to play. Had a good season in AAA, according to the WAR. McSchmidt Jr. is a dead CCP, I think. Santarang. No, they didn't sign him. They signed him in 2028. Yeah, so this is a team that needs, I guess you can put Carter or Loss back in there. And what I was going to say, this team either needs a pitcher or a hitter, and I think they were done with K-Rod, they were done with Machado. I would have signed Machado for. He said it was 10 years, $25 million a year that he wanted. We'll try to get down a little lower because he was on 28. Those pitchers don't last that long. But you see the Yankees being the Yankees. But either they want a hitter or a pitcher, and now we don't know what they want. You can just guess on the off-season center. And you see Houston wants Danny Diaz. Houston on anyone else. Houston, Luis Victoriano, Riano Garcia. He's just too expensive for me. Who else? Anyone else? Houston's linked to Jose Ramirez. You might need a DH too, so who knows? Moving on to Kansas City. In Kansas City, I am shocked that Springer had a 3.16 ERA and KC's zone rating was negative 25.7. 89 errors. I guess he just had a bunch of errors when he was pitching, maybe. I don't know. But Gooch had 468 and pitched well. It seems like Benavidez had a good season. Priester pitched for St. Louis. Just better defense, man. Better defense. That's good for second base. Let's see a shortstop. I would like more range for shortstop. Joe Mack. I think framing is free. Oh God. Center fielder. That's good center fielder. 97 range. But hopefully improve their defense. I will help the pitchers and not be the start. But besides that, picked Skeens. Skeens should see some action this season. Maybe. Depends on what he wants to do with him. We got Glide Torkel. He looks like he's gonna make a debut. He could probably a first base. Move him to third base, man. Maybe talk to the CCP though and want to play first base. I don't know. Just Tommy Rice. He's 5'11", but see how tall Torkel is. 6'3". I'll still put Torkel at third. Alright, moving on. We go to the Angels. So, I definitely understand Acuna being re-rated. We have all this money tied up into him. 100% understand. Not knocking you for doing. Well, I guess I am knocking you. You have some steals. Hopefully, he does better than this. But man, maybe you trade him. Someone takes him to do the re-rate. Someone will take him. This is post re-rate. Acuna. But I digress from that. You get. Where is he? Crochet. Just him being re-rated. Just, I would love him re-rated in my rotation right now. And he also has McClanahan, who would be also really good re-rated. I just think he re-rated the wrong person. Try to trade Acuna. Someone would jump on him and re-rate him, even though he's 31, 33. Ugh. Man, I just think you re-rated the wrong person. Like I said, I understand it with the money you have tied into him. I would have gone a different route. And Dodgers. Um, well, in this universe, you can't sign all the Japanese pitchers and defer their money. So it makes it harder to be a Dodgers GM. They got Barrios. I guess Barrios is gonna be a third baseman. One reason I traded Barrios is that I don't like his defense at third base. Not like I have better defensive third basemen right now. I do now actually, but let's see the prospects for the Dodgers. I'm waiting to see that 1.0 Chris Holland that I've been told about. They got okay. Almost ready. Give him a season. I was gonna give him a knock on a little bit. Just give it a season or two, and he's gonna be dominant. That's all. You already can see it in the trades he's made. He knows. He knows by this contract where he's gonna be. That he can afford this. That's all I have to say about him. He knows what he's doing. Now, Miami, I'm so glad to see this. 92-70 making playoffs. It's been a long time for Miami. 27 seasons in this universe. If I'm damn, since the 03 season, yes. Wow. Made the playoffs twice and wins the World Series. Then the third time they made it, don't win the World Series. But anyway, this is the one thing that Eddie has built with Miami is a potential making the season playoffs every year, every season. And that's a thing Miami has never had for the Marlins. I hope so. But the thing with Miami, though, let's look at the prospects. Might click. Did he trade for him? He drafted him. Let's just remember that name. They just have. They took the defense and pitching route. Not knocking them at all for it because I love that. And he has some good offensive players on it, like Ditt and Voncola. What's this OPS plus? Oh, he's a two-way player. 96 OPS plus. I think there's getting there with Sunder. Just keep on building that lineup. Got him from St. Louis. So trying to build that lineup. Don't knock that defense down much because he's been second defensive efficiency this year. And that's really helped him. Just needs to work on building that lineup. Milwaukee, I kind of like this. I fucking hate Milwaukee in real life. I despise them. I'm not even lying. Um, anyway, I think there's a segment going on here, though. He asked for the Bettis trade, and I sold my soul to Bettis. Yeah, the re-rate. Can play third. Hopefully, he's better than the 71 OPS plus that he put up last season. Staley, he's still an average hitter. Kingston, hopefully Kingston's a big bat in the lineup. But they got Cuff, Kikuchi, Kizer, Bonilla, Gabe Hillman. So they had a good rotation. And I enjoy talking to Jay Hill a lot. He got some bullpen pieces he added on, and he still has more money that he can add to this lineup, add to his bullpen. This could be a surprise team next year. Charlie Moore, great defense. So yeah, this could be a great, not great. This could be a decent team next year. I don't know if they're gonna make the playoffs, but if he adds enough, there's a chance. Yeah, that defense was horrible last year. Even with a lot of strikeouts. Yeah, so he continue to build that lineup, continue to build this team, especially with the money he has right now. Try to avoid the stupid contracts, though. I'm not saying you have. I'm just saying in general. Don't overpay for someone that you're gonna regret. I think you're gonna regret the Machado trade, the Machado signing. Actually 5 years, and you're gonna regret it after that. Unless you get a World Series, and if New York gets a World Series, they get one. But let's go ahead and move on to Minnesota. To my best friend Aiden. I think Aaron created a good team here. Do I think Aiden's going to screw it up? 100%. Dude, why didn't you re-rate Richmond? Then you get Cortez next year. I don't understand that. Anyway, I don't understand a lot of things Aiden says, and it could be mutual. It probably is mutual. But 77 wins last year. Let's say drop that by 20. 57 and 105 sounds pretty accurate for this team with Aiden running it. I'll love Aiden. But yeah, 57 105. I see that happening. I hope not, dude. I hope you build on to what Aaron's done. Kinda hope that you just fail, but no, seriously though. Yeah, I do hope you fail. A little bit, not too much, not 57 wins, maybe 58. But that's my take. But I would have re-rated up Rushman, but that's just me. I know he's 32, so not going to get the full benefits, but I think that would be enough. Trade him to me. I wish I'd try to trade for him and re-rated him. Could have used him, but I didn't. So let's go on to Montreal. What? Oh, Juan Soto. Juan Soto. I'm trying to look for my sticky note. Did I just not put Juan Soto? Oh, I'm looking at. Never mind. This team keeps building. I like Ted Boyd a lot. Two-way player. I like his bat a lot more, though. Give it a shot, though. 3 WAR, 141 games. Like a little bit more defense, but that's just me. I mean, Max Ortiz definitely helps out on that. So then you got Glenn Streamer, good defense at second. It's just a waiting game for this. Vega, decent defense as well at right. Shui, I kind of like this play, how he's performing. But 82 OPS plus. I mean, he's 26. But Gomez, not bad defensively. That's what you want for a rebuilding team with a good defensive catcher, at least. And he got decent pitching as well. It's just not enough of it. 8th and runs against, that's not bad. Your half is just honestly your offense. Keep building that offense and that re-rate of Juan Soto. He's going to get on base a lot more. I don't know how much of a... You're going to get better. He might be playable in the outfield, possibly. But I think this is going to be a good re-rate. Of course, I already scouted him. Waiting for that re-rate. Let's just see how it goes. But keep on. I'm really excited about our expansion teams. How well they've done and try to build. I don't see much hitters on here but I'm not looking deep into them like I would usually. But I like Steve Masser. He was a third baseman. 100 arm. Keep on continuing what you're doing. The Yankees. What do I have for the Yankees? Oh. So if some of you didn't know, well, most of you didn't know. I only told a couple of people. I told Brennan this too. I applied to be the Yankees GM. I wanted to work with that money. And I thought I could bring the Yankees back to their empire ways. I told Brendan this. I hope Brendan doesn't get mad at me for saying this, but I did tell this to him. I told him, I was like, I'm kind of salty that he got the job over me, because I feel like I would do a much better job being the Yankees GM than he would. Maybe that's just my ego. I don't think I have a high ego, but that was just what I thought. And I think and I did tell him that I do hope he does well, and that he um puts it in my face. Um, that he we he wins the World Series and just annihilates me with the words I said to him. He's really kind about it. I was hoping he would be kind about it because I like Brendan a lot. He's a great dude. But I think what Brendan has done with the Yankees so far is something I wouldn't have done. But I don't think that's a bad thing. I think he's done a great job so far. And I think let's just wait and see. It's a wait and see. And I think this isn't the job of the eMLB that is going to be most criticized and scrutinized because of how Commish wants this team to be run and how he wants this team to perform. Because this has been a team that has not performed the 1.0 era or the 2.0 era. So we'll see what happens. I think Brennan's off to a good start. Joe Machado. We'll see who else he signs. And I'll just say this. I'll give it a couple seasons to see how he does. I don't think one season would do it justice. I don't even think a couple seasons would do it justice. For me, I just wanted to rebuild it a little bit, how I wanted it to be, and I thought I could make it to be the evil empire again. But I think Brennan's approach is good as well, and I think he's doing a great job. And on to the Mets. So the Mets, I want to look at Gunnar Henderson. For Gunnar Henderson, this is the re-rate on him. Let's look up scouting. So his contact went up 8 points potential. For me at least. 7 current rating. His power went up 13 points. His eye went up 10. His defense went up 2. His overall rating went up 8. I want to see more power from him in the re-rate. And playing at third, I would want to see better arm. But see how it performs. I mean, I think that's a good re-rate there. He's going to strike out a bunch. He'd be great in my park as being a lefty. But he's going to walk a bunch. I'll see about 25 home runs, hopefully. And we'll see how that goes. And hopefully he's a good hitter for the Mets. Now we go to the Phillies. The Phillies, their World Series are bust. I mean, this is probably the greatest team in the 2.0 era, possibly in the whole eMLB era. Don't know much about 1.0, but it has CCPs. I don't believe they didn't. This is going to be a hell of a team. And the thing about Hebrew is that he gets everything from his players. He gets them to perform. And having this team and getting them to perform, 99 wins last year is, dare I say, 110. If more than that, Seattle, 2001 Seattle, maybe. What was that? 115? I don't know. It's World Series a bust for them. I haven't Deer, Carew, Hyder, it's crazy. Purchase CCPs, which I try to do, and I just couldn't. I realized early on I couldn't afford everything. And Philly might be the one to afford everyone. They just re-signed Carew, I believe, and they did. Of 50 million in 2035. Holy sh. But there you go. This is streaming backloaded. But almost half of it in the final year. We're serious or bust. Now to the Pirates. The team you've been waiting on. The 2-time champions. There's a hole I have, and that's starting pitching. But I got good 3 starters. Fuller, become a good starter. He had a decent year last year. That's why I re-signed him. Just in this season and almost a half, he's been great for me. And if I make the playoffs, all I need is 3, right? And we can find out with the 4th and 5th starters, so we just have to make the playoffs. Honestly, whoever's going to be my leadoff hitter, maybe Tovar, like I announced earlier, who would be my re-rate. Then you put Bettis right there. It's a dangerous lineup. Just need to keep him healthy and ready to go. Keep the locker room filled with beer, and he'll be set. I don't trade just to trade. I had a vision in mind when I rebuilt these Pirates the first time. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Now I kind of know what the hell I'm doing, so I wanted to do a little retooling and do something that fit my vision. I think I did that. And the casualties were Brockamonis and Fleury and Sharp, and I also wanted to cut some money to do a re-rate and sign Kochan here in a couple seasons. So we'll see what happens. But I wouldn't say I'm not a World Series contender, because I think I am a World Series contender with my current lineup. Yeah. I have better defense around the diamond. So it's going to be fun. Even though Bettis is 5'11", he still can play first base. Might hurt me just a tad. but we're all good. We're gonna make adjustments, and we're we're gonna make a push. And we'll see where we're gonna be at. Portland, same with Montreal. Keep pushing, keep building. If they get Hurd punch with him and Herbeck. They got Aguilera, who had a decent season for them. Um, so that's a plus. They're getting some pitching. 10th in runs against. I remember a couple seasons ago it was always 16th. So this team is coming. Just need to work on that lineup a bit. Let's look at their top 100. Portland, we got Moultrie. Like I said, they got the pitching and they got some hitters right here. This guy's a little bit far away, but what power though? We got Moultrie right here. Don't love the eye of Lord K. Good second baseman here. Langford. Decent player. So Conway, good defense with Conway. So this team, just a few seasons away, might make playoffs. As a expansion team, that's huge. Let's see who makes the playoffs first. Sacramento, what the hell are they doing? Just kidding. I want to talk about Julio Rodriguez trade, because this is what hurt them the most. I mean, let me go to J-Rod. Let's see this trade. So, traded by the Oakland Athletics to the New York Yankees, along with, so they traded Dahl, traded Gallo, Esty Fuentes, which is a decent reliever for them. Swarto, this could be a decent player for the A's now. Peraza, someone who's retired, a no-name guy. Gabe Trone, who's a free agent, and $5 million. I mean, I get it was dumping salaries, trading money away. What would you done with that money anyway, though? What have you done with that money? I mean, I don't want to bring up old things, but that's one thing I want to talk about, because, like, Julio, you claimed that Julio was not the same player. Look at him, man. 5.3 WAR this season. That could have been on your lineup. You could have traded him now. Like, let's say you just have Julio to your lineup now. You could trade him for a bunch of prospects that can jumpstart your rebuild even more. All I gotta say. Alright, San Diego. Alright, it's Tatis. I mean, played in 95 games. 2.7 WAR. Getting $35 million a year. I think his ratings took a dip. 60 home runs. He has 399 for his career, so his first home run next season would be 400. 64.4 WAR for his career. I mean, if he played a full season, he might have reached 5 WAR. But that's half of what he did the previous 2 seasons. So, then 8.4, 2027, 5.4, 2026, 11, 2025, after he got re-rated. So, question is Tatis on a decline? Yes, he is. He's going to be 32. Are you going to see 50 home runs from Tatis again? I want to say no. But this is the downhill track for him. He had his fun. I could be totally wrong, and he put another 9 WAR this season. I get he was hurt. What was it? Injury history. What am I missing right there? Fractured thumb. Then he also had a fractured finger. So something about that right hand, bruised finger. His right hand is failing on you. As long as he doesn't go shooting fireworks on July 4th with his right hand, he should be fine. Maybe not, but keep on getting fractured fingers, fractured thumbs on that right hand. Maybe getting hit by pitches, getting old. Going downhill. And that's my thoughts. San Fran, excited to see them win 101 last season. Let's see where we're at with time. Where are we at with time? We're over an hour. But we're there. Alright. Anyway, I want to talk about the 6-man rotation. I'm actually shocked that someone would do a 6-man rotation. I like the stats from getting 5-man rotation. I can see why it would be a smart play to do the 6-man rotation, and it definitely worked for San Fran. Ethan Candela helps him be a two-way player. Or is that, Ethan Candela, the Jerry Rollins. We get Jimmy Thurman, also a two-way player. So kind of spreads out the love with pitching. We got some two-way players in there. So I see why it's a very smart play for them. And if I was in this situation, I would probably think about it as well. But props to Mike thinking of that. I think it's very smart. And you can tell runs against was second all the NL. First in pitching WAR, first in FIP. Very smart play. Very smart play. Seattle, I think it's done. I think you put Eric Kelly out of his misery and trade him. Nothing against you. I think you're a great GM. I just think that it's time. Just to sell off, complete rebuild. You've been trying forever with this core. It's just not working. Just not working. One playoff appearance back in 2026, 87 wins. Yeah, he had 85 there a couple seasons ago. We're in the 80s for a little bit. And the 80s just don't do, man. I think it's just time just to pull up your sleeves and just trade everyone. This really feels like a Seattle thing to do, of just keep putting out there, seeing if you can make something happen. But I think it's over with. You had really bad luck that 2027 season. Yeah, I think it's time, man, to do a rebuild. St. Louis, World Series champions. It doesn't hurt me to say that maybe it does. Does it hurt me worse to say Andrews a World Series champion or the Cardinals World Series champions? I don't know. I'm not hitting. Oh, I got two of these things. And I'm going for my third. Now when you get to that's gonna be something that's gonna be hard to swallow. This was already hard to swallow. I really wish I tried to get Donovan harder though. I don't know where I would put him though. Probably in the outfield. Okay. But that's all I have to say. Good job. Good job. I'm gonna cry myself to sleep tonight. Now Tampa Bay. What did I put for Tampa Bay? Playoffs. This team's gonna make playoffs year after year. I don't think they have the talent that most teams have, especially not Aiden Pearson. Definitely not the best catcher in baseball because that's Fleury. But they got some decent talent, and I think D-Block's just a great GM. He knows what he's doing with this game. And that's why I think he will make the playoffs every year until he decides to do a rebuild if he wants to. He's a very smart guy. So nothing bad to say about Tampa Bay. The only thing I have to say though, the season he takes over, Aiden's struggling with the team, but then D-Block takes over and just makes playoffs. Just like that. That's all I have to say. Then Texas. They did get Chris Reeves. I like Chris Reeves a lot. Where is he? He's probably in rookie ball. No, that's outlier. Where the hell is Chris Reeves? Is he on the active roster? Chris Reeves. He had a good season last year with me in Double-A. 133 OPS plus. Played shortstop. He can play third baseman, and that's a need that Jamie needs. He's gonna have some pop too. He's just not gonna hit well in my park. Um, I want him, and I think his ratings will go back up. Once he reaches the bigs. Um, I think a lot of people stayed away from him because they kind of dropped a little bit, a bunch. But I think they'll go back up a little bit. But yeah, that's a big grab for Texas with a big need at third base. That's where I put him. I think the range is too bad for a short in second. But third, I needed a thing at third too, but I'm going a different route. Someone who can hit my ballpark a little bit better. But that's a nice pickup by Reeves. Pickup for Reeves, for Jamie. They got good pitching, so that's not going to be a factor. They add Sharp. But we'll see what happens. 105 wins. Losing Barrios, though. So we'll see what happens. That's dangerous AL West, too. Moving on to Toronto with Bracamontes. So, Bracamontes, the biggest thing I have a problem with him, he's put up numbers for me, so I don't have problems with him. He hits doubles, he hits home runs, he walks, he gets on base. His BABIP's not what I like. It doesn't strike out a ton. But there's an obvious difference here. And I kind of wanted someone that didn't have this obvious difference. And it looks like he's already declining a little bit. From 52 home runs to 37. From that 183 OPS plus season, now he's in the 140s. Could be wrong. He's still age 26. Still got a bunch of time on that cheap contract. And honestly, I needed to trade someone to make some shit happen. And I made shit happen. Bracamontes is a top 10 home run. He's in the top 10 in home runs in Pirates history already. In just the 5 seasons, 4 in a month, 4 seasons in just a month he's played. 176 home runs. I probably regret this. But I got Bettis, and I can boost Bettis for whatever I want. So it's... And I got that right-hand hitter that can hit home runs in my park. Because Bettis is going to have 90-plus home run power. Not 90 home runs, but 90-plus home run rating. I think he's about at 80, 82, which is good for lefties in my park. He's, like you've seen, 52 in just 122 games back in 2028. Had 41 doubles. I mean, this guy is a hitter. I just wanted to go a different route, and I think he's declining. But I feel like I still needed to make a trade to make shit happen. I've been happy to keep him with the contract he's on. But I had a vision. He fit that vision, but without trading someone like him, I wouldn't been able to fit, make that vision happen. So, Brucker Montez is a Blue Jay. And gladly, he's not in my division. And lastly, we got Washington here. And what the hell is Washington doing? Bunch of CCPs on here. Defense. I called it. Decent pitching. Size 3 and 4 or 4 and 5. This is a team that needs better defense, or they're not gonna win. This team is a decent team. They just don't have defense. 68 range for shortstop. 69 range for second baseman. 74 range for center fielder. I mean, the area is phenomenal. But he's more of a left fielder or right fielder. 55 range. 52 range. Honest to God, I just looked at this team just now. I was gonna say rebuild. I was like, I just had a hunch that it was defense that was their issue, and negative 38.8 zone rating. That's their problem, and that's all 32 teams. If anyone wants to try to come on, I can try to figure that out. And we just go back and forth over things. But besides that, I'm excited to do this. I don't know when I would do episode 2. I don't know what episode 2 would be about. Might be something similar. But honestly, I want to cover most, if not all, teams. And that's a lot to do. But anyway, without further ado, you're probably tired of hearing my voice, which I'm tired of talking. I hope everyone has a great day. I'm not sure when those come out. If it will come out. Peace. Bye. Gosh, I have to piss so bad though.